Fans of the channel know that I'm a huge fan of the Nike Air Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort silhouette. Not only do I think that it's one of the top 3 most comfortable silhouettes in all of sneakerdom, but it's definitely one of my favorite silhouettes, and I honestly prefer it to the normal Jordan 1 because of the lack of comfort of the Jordan 1, but also because there's not a lot of hype and I can pretty much get any of the colorways of the Zoom Comfort that I want. But when Nike released in late 2022 that they were releasing a version 2 of the Zoom Comfort, I was a little worried because I love the original Zoom Comfort silhouette, so I had to get one of the latest colorways of the Zoom Comfort 2 and not only see how I feel about it on foot and how it looks and how it feels, but give you, the viewer, the details on how it's different from the Zoom Comfort original. And I'm here to tell you, well, I'm just a tiny bit disappointed. What's up, y'all? It's Daniel, your Shoemmelier, and this video is going to be not only a review, it might be less review of the Zoom Comfort 2 and more of a comparison of what they've changed and what's different about the Zoom Comfort 2 in comparison to the OG Zoom Comfort silhouette. They have released a few different colorways thus far, and while I did pick up the Valentine's Day colorway for my wife, I picked up the University Blue colorway, which is a women's shoe, but it doesn't matter. I wear a size 9 in men's, so I can wear this shoe in a women's, and it's a really nice looking shoe. It's a good looking shoe. It's comfortable, but let's dig into not only what this shoe is all about, but how it differs from the original OG Zoom Comfort silhouette. Like many of the Zoom Comfort colorways, the Nike Air Jordan 1 Zoom Air Comfort 2 University Blue comes constructed out of a soft suede throughout its upper while slightly tweaking the design of your standard Air Jordan 1. First, the exposed foam collar and tongue have been sealed, more closely resembling the original form of the AJ1. Branding details like the Zoom Air tag on the tongue or the cutout Nike swoosh along the midfoot have also been changed. The tongue has been replaced with a more breathable mesh material, while canvas collars add durability and flexibility. Combinations of suedes and synthetic leathers make up the rest of the upper, with extra perforations or speed holes added not only to the toe box, but along the medial quarter panel, bottommost eye stay, and via the collar overlay. Painted in the legendary University Blue colorway, which pays homage to his Airness's alma mater, these Jordans work on top of a crisp phantom base, while suede University Blue and ice blue panels wrap around the rest of the shoe. Underfoot, the University Blue midsole features a Zoom Air midsole, which is now housed in Jordan Brand's newly developed Formula 23 foam cushioning, giving the response and overall feel a massive overhaul. The Nike Air Jordan 1 Zoom Air Comfort 2 University Blue released on February 6, 2023 and retails for $150 US American dollars. Now, I don't normally talk about the box or what's included in the box other than maybe a tag or a medallion or extra laces. But in this case, it's important because it goes to how the shoe is different. There is a black tag that you find attached to the shoe, and it was attached to the Valentine's Day shoe as well, so it makes me think that for now all the Zoom Comfort 2s will come with this, and this basically explains what's different and what's new about this particular Zoom Comfort 2 silhouette. It reads, dynamic architecture, reimagined collar, tongue, and forefoot construction for ankle flexibility, midfoot containment, and forefoot expansion. Lightweight, breathable materials, engineered to offer proper support and breathability in a lightweight construction. Formula 23 foam, softness balanced with energy return. Zoom Air. The Zoom Air unit in the heel is for responsive, low-profile cushioning. And while the shoe comes in your normal Zoom Air Comfort box, which is more of a cardboard color with the Nike logo and text and branding all in black, on the underside you have this graphic, these schematics that give you a little bit more details as to what's different or what's changed about this particular Zoom Air Comfort 2. Expanding on the info that was on the attached shoe tag, these schematics talk about midfoot lockdown, flexibility, forefoot fit, cushioning and response, lightweight comfort and breathability, and style. You also see the different layers that go into building the insole, midsole, and outsole, starting with molded rubber on the bottom, the new Formula 23 foam, then the Zoom Air pocket, and on top a molded sock liner with arch support and perforations, or speed holes. Also, if you look inside the shoe, you will see that there are now two cutouts, two big holes on either side, the lateral and medial side of the shoe, which I imagine is to let your feet breathe, reinforcing more that this shoe is probably meant for sporty type events, athletic things, as opposed to lifestyle. So maybe the original Zoom Air Comfort was more lifestyle and this is the sport version, not really sure. But regardless, that's another big change to the overall construction of this silhouette. Now, when it comes to fit, I'm about a 9.25, but that shoe size does not exist. So I normally go down to a 9, hope it fits, take out the insole or do something, or I go up to a 9.5, hope that fits, or put in a secondary insole or wear a thicker sock or some combination thereof. This is a women's shoe, so I ordered a women's 10.5, which translates to a men's 9. When it comes to the Zoom Air Comfort series, this is true to size for me. A women's 10.5, a men's 9. This fits fine, so that's what I've always ordered, and I would say whatever size you order in the original Zoom Air Comfort, go ahead and order that in this shoe, with one caveat. When it comes to fit, this shoe fits my foot differently than the Zoom Air Comfort version 1. Version 1 felt a little bit boxy. It felt like there was a little bit more room. It felt like a bigger, heavier, more industrial size shoe, but really, really comfortable. This particular Zoom Air Comfort 2 fits closer to a basketball fit or closer to the way the original Air Jordan 1 fits. In fact, when you put these shoes side by side, and if I haven't already, you'll see it, you can see how the cut of these shoes are very different. Zoom Air Comfort 1, again, seems kind of boxy. Seems like the style of Jordan that was recent, but not the most recent, but not like the original. This version of the shoe, the Zoom Air Comfort 2, seems to look and feel closer to what an 85 style might look like and feel like in the Zoom Air Comfort. Also, if you look inside the shoe, you will see that there are now two cutouts, two big holes on either side, the lateral and medial side of the shoe, which I imagine is to let your feet breathe, reinforcing more that this shoe is probably meant for sporty type events, athletic things, as opposed to lifestyle. So maybe the original Zoom Air Comfort was more lifestyle and this is the sport version, not really sure. But regardless, that's another big change to the overall construction of this silhouette. All that to say is the fit is a little bit more narrow in the midfoot and around the shoe entirely. Again, I felt like there was a lot of room in the original Zoom Air Comforts. In this one, there's definitely more lockdown in the midfoot, which I don't really like, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was just a shock because I wasn't expecting that putting this particular silhouette on my foot, even though knowing there were some changes, and you can see the changes and all that stuff, but you can definitely feel the changes when it comes to the fit around your foot. And all of that makes sense because, again, on this box, when it talks about midfoot lockdown, it says tongue design secures foot, allowing lace styling versatility, which I don't know what the laces have to do with it, but it does give a bit more of a midfoot lockdown, as it says. And then it says forefoot fit. Updated design allows for dynamic forefoot flex and expansion, but it is tighter, especially when you put it in comparison to the way you put your feet into the Zoom Air. Basically, this fit is a little bit tighter. There's more lockdown. It's more form-fitting than the original Zoom Air Comfort series. Now, this shoe does feel lighter in hand and lighter on foot. I don't have the schematics in front of me right now about how much these shoes weigh, but I would have to imagine, just on anecdotal evidence of me holding them next to each other and holding them in my hands, that these new Zoom Air Comfort 2s are lighter than the original Zoom Air Comforts, and they feel that way on foot. Now, I didn't think that the original Zoom Air Comforts felt heavy, by no stretch. They felt normal, they felt okay. But these definitely feel a bit lighter. Not unlike maybe with Boost trying to have light boost or lightweight boost or whatever. This is just a lighter version, again, to me, and if I can put some stats on the screen at some point, you will have seen maybe what the first version weighs and what the second version weighs. But to me, this shoe feels much lighter in its second iteration than in the original OG Zoom Air Comfort silhouette. Now, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I was the tiniest bit disappointed. Look, I love the Zoom Air Comfort, the OG, the first one. I love the way it looks. I love the exposed foam. I love the different layers. I liked how it looked different than an Air Jordan 1. It was Jordan 1-esque, but it wasn't like trying to be a foamy, more comfortable version of it. It was almost like saying like, okay, just change it a little bit, right? Can I copy your homework? Just change it a little bit, right? This version looks more like an Air Jordan 1, in my opinion, Air Jordan 1 85. And so I guess that's okay, right? It's still different materials, it's still different technologies, all that. It looks closer to it, which I can deal with. I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me that much. What bothers me is that in my initial wearing and walking around the house on hardwood floors and my rugs, this Zoom Air Comfort 2 is not as comfortable as the Zoom Air Comfort 1 or OG. Maybe it's because the foam 23 cushioning needs a little bit more and there's a Zoom Air pocket. I don't know. All I know is that this doesn't feel as comfortable, and that's disappointing because I would take one or the other. If you were to tell me the second iteration is slightly less comfortable than the first one, but it looks the same, great. If you're gonna say, it doesn't look the same, but it feels just as comfortable, if not more, I would say, great. But you've changed not only the way it looks, but the way it feels. And that's a little disconcerting. Now, enough to make me not want to buy a killer colorway when it comes out? Well, no. Because here's the thing, and this may contradict what I just said, but let me break it down. I don't know that it is terribly, noticeably less comfortable than the OG version 1 of the Zoom Air Comfort, but it's definitely a lot more comfortable than that. And if that was their goal, was to make a more comfortable Zoom Air Comfort Zoom Jordan 1, well, I think they failed, at least on this particular colorway version, University Blue. Not to say that maybe after a few days of wearing it, it's gonna be like, okay, I was wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will release a video saying I was wrong. I've done it before, and I'll end up doing it again at some point. Now I have to specify when I say the Air Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort OG or version 1 is the most comfortable, one of the most comfortable silhouettes, etc. Because they're not the same. Now it's not the same thing as going from the comfort in a Yeezy Boost 700 V1 or V2 to a V3. Different technologies, I get it, but there's a huge gap in comfort. It's not that way. If the Air Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort OG gets an A+ in comfort, at best this is an A-. I won't give it an A. It's an A-. It's still an A, but it's an A-, number one, because it's a tighter fit, there's more lockdown, and number two, because I don't think the technologies in the insole, the midsole, the outsole are nearly as comfortable as what they had in the original iteration. Now, maybe I'll get used to it and it'll be fine and I can bump it up to an A from an A-, but at least in my first day of wearing it and walking it around and doing some bits and bobs while having these shoes on foot, it's not as comfortable. It doesn't get an A+, it gets an A- or maybe like a half A- closer to an A, but still, it's not a full A and it's definitely not an A+. In conclusion, you may think I hate this shoe, and I don't. I love the way this shoe looks. I like pretty much the changes they've made to it. I don't particularly care for how on the medial side of the shoe you have way more perforations or speed holes, but it's only on the inside of the shoe. And on the outside of the shoe, it kind of looks the same as the older version with just the aforementioned changes to the collar and the layers and whatnot. But for the most part, I bet if you're an OG Jordan person, you prefer this silhouette to the OG Zoom Comfort. You probably think this is closer to it. It's closer to an 85. It's closer to Jordan 1. I still won't rock it, but it's better looking. I'd be curious that if you were anti-Zoom Air Comfort originally, are you less inclined, or are you more like, yeah, I would rock that with the right colorway? Look, when they release more colorways that are closer to the OGs or are more iconics, if they release a shatter backboard, a purple, a black, any of the same colorways that I have in the OG, I'll buy it on here, because at the end of the day, these are way more comfortable than the OG Jordan 1s, highs, mids, or lows. And I will wear the Zoom Air Comfort 2s 9.5 times out of 10 if I can make the colorways work with my outfit over the original Air Jordan 1s. I mean, seriously, they're just not that comfortable. 4 hours tops is what I can wear an Air Jordan 1. And that's with the updated third-party insole. I know I'm old, I have delicate feet, but you know what? Not only does it affect my feet, it affects my legs and it affects my lower back. I'm older. You'll get there. All of you will get there. If not, you're already there already. So I do like the shoe. I think my least favorite part of, besides the fit of the lockdown and the outsole, is the change to the tongue. It just looks too sporty for me. It just looks too much like we want to be a basketball shoe. And I love that the other versions were either like a full canvas or a pleather or a leather or anything like that. This just makes it look like, oh, okay, we're going to charge you the same price, but you know, we're just, maybe, I know that it's supposed to, you can breathe better, right? Your legs have more breathe, your feet, I guess. Look, do I wish that they just kept the Air Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort OG and just released new awesome colorways, or maybe tweaked a little bit here and there, but not made the huge changes that they made to the silhouette? Yes. Do I hope they're going to release both of them like Yeezy used to do with the 350 V2s, or 700 V1, V2, V3? Do I hope they do that? Absolutely. Do I think they're going to do it? Nope, not at all. I don't have any inside information, but I really don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to go all in on this Formula 23, and I think they're going to keep doing that, maybe tweak some things. My only hope is that they do some sort of collab. Please do a collab with this particular silhouette, and someone goes, you know what, let's change the tongue and let's do this and let's just make it like the OG. Nike, holler at your boy. I would love to help you with the Zoom Air Comfort. I have no shoe design experience, but I'm passionate, and hey, it could be worse. You could have someone that knows what they're doing but isn't passionate. I know very little, but I'm very passionate, and I learn quick, and I know how to use Microsoft Word, and I know how to use Excel. I also know how to use all the Apple ones. So regardless, anyway, holler at your boy. My contact info is in the description below. So longer video, I told you, is going to be like a review, but also going to be about what's different, and it turned into sort of an editorial and an opinion-based video. But regardless, let's talk about this particular silhouette, the Nike Air Jordan 1 Zoom Comfort 2, in the comment section down below, and this colorway, the University Blue, what you think about it, what you think about the changes. But you know what? It's okay. Beggars can't be choosers. And I'm going to rock this shoe, and I'm going to love it, and it's okay. But I can be a little bit more picky when it comes to it, because I'm a longtime fan of the original. So, of course, any changes are really going to ruffle my feathers a little bit. So to all of you out there, wherever you are, thanks for watching. Stay tuned and just chill till the next episode.